I see pain. DeSean Jackson's heartfelt journey with Deion Sanders, from NFL stardom to saving broken lives at Delaware State. In the world of sports, few moments transcend the field and touch the raw, unfiltered essence of humanity. Recently, such a moment unfolded on a quiet lake in Texas, far away from screaming crowds and NFL stadium lights. Here, DeSean Jackson, the electrifying former NFL wide receiver, sat side by side with Coach Prime himself, Deion Sanders. Two legends, two icons, bound by the common goal of changing lives. But what started as a peaceful fishing trip turned into a brutally honest heart-to-heart that revealed the profound struggles young athletes face, especially in the overlooked world of historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs. For DeSean Jackson, life after football was supposed to be peaceful. It was meant to be about relaxing, reflecting on an illustrious NFL career, and perhaps dabbling in casual coaching at his own pace. But life had other plans forged by the influence of Deion Sanders, a man who not only revolutionized the college football scene, but also redefined what it means to give back to the community. A boat ride that changed everything. In July 2025, a new episode of the popular Well-Off YouTube series aired, showing Deion Sanders and DeSean Jackson away from the football field. They weren't in coaching meetings or at recruiting events. They were in the middle of a lake, fishing rods in hand, having a conversation that would ripple through the HBCU coaching world. Coach Prime, known for asking the questions that cut deep, looked over at Jackson and asked, "What do you see when you look in the eyes of those kids when you're coaching them?" There was no hesitation from Jackson, no mask of bravado, no deflection, just raw emotion. "I see pain," Jackson admitted, his voice catching in his throat. "I see kids that are hungry. I see kids that are scared to fail. I see kids that don't have fathers, kids being raised by grandmothers, by uncles, by the streets." It wasn't just about sports anymore. It wasn't about touchdowns or draft stock. It was about survival, identity, and hope. Jackson's answer reflected the realities of so many young black athletes across America, particularly in underfunded HBCU programs where the dream of the NFL is often a distant fantasy, and daily life itself is a battle. Delaware State's struggles mirror a broader crisis. Jackson's new home is Delaware State University, a proud HBCU with a football program that has seen better days. Over the past 2 seasons, the Hornets have managed just 2 wins, going a painful 2-21, including a shocking 0-8 record in meek conference games. Blowout losses, instability in coaching leadership, and institutional challenges have made DSU a symbol of the uphill battle many HBCU programs face in the modern college football landscape. But for DeSean Jackson, this job is about much more than wins and losses. It's about saving young men from cycles of despair and providing them with a blueprint to navigate life. "I don't care if you make it to the NFL," Jackson said. "If you walk across that stage, diploma in hand, that's my championship. If I can give you the game of life, that's my Super Bowl." In a world obsessed with stats, Jackson's words feel like a radical shift. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what college football and America needs. Betting on the person, not just the player. The odds are brutally stacked against Delaware State athletes. Since its founding in 1924, the university has sent fewer than 20 players to the NFL, with only 10 being drafted. HBCU players now make up less than 2% of each NFL draft class, a stark decline from the golden days when HBCU greats like Jerry Rice and Walter Payton dominated the league. DeSean Jackson knew this before accepting the head coaching job at DSU. He was living comfortably in California, coaching at Woodrow Wilson High School, where he turned a struggling 4-6 squad into a high-scoring playoff team. The California beaches, the relaxed lifestyle, and the occasional coaching gig seemed like the perfect post-NFL life. But then Delaware State called. Not once, but 3 times. "The first time I wasn't interested," Jackson admitted. "Second time I was still on the fence. But by the 3rd call I knew I had to ask my mentors. I called Andy Reid. I called Deion Sanders." It was those conversations that changed everything. The Coach Prime blueprint, giving back to the forgotten. Deion Sanders, who revolutionized Jackson State football by turning a 4-8 team into SWAC champions, didn't just offer coaching advice. He showed Jackson the power of using football as a vehicle for social change. Under Sanders, Jackson State went from obscurity to national headlines, even flipping Travis Hunter, the #1 recruit in the country, from Florida State to JSU. Coach Prime taught me what it looks like to change lives through football, Jackson said. He's the blueprint. The mentorship between Sanders and Jackson became even clearer when Jackson candidly admitted, "Without Deion, I probably wouldn't be in this position." For DeSean Jackson, Sanders wasn't just a coaching role model. He was proof that one person's commitment to change could ripple through generations. Brotherhood continues, the Vick factor, and the revolution doesn't stop with Jackson and Sanders. Michael Vick, Jackson's former Philadelphia Eagles teammate, has joined the movement. Vick is now the head coach at Norfolk State, another HBCU program battling for relevance and resources. The two friends, who once dazzled NFL fans with highlight reel plays, now face off as head coaches in one of the most anticipated HBCU matchups of the season. October 30th will be more than just a football game. It will be a collision of visions, a battle between two NFL legends who have traded in cleats for coaching headsets, trying to uplift programs, rebuild pride, and most importantly, mentor young men navigating life's harsh realities. Vick and I were doing this because we know what it's like to have no one, Jackson said. We know what it's like to be doubted, to be written off. Now, we're here to make sure these kids are seen, heard, and guided. Rebuilding Delaware State. A long road ahead. Delaware State's challenges aren't going to vanish overnight. The facilities lack the opulence of Power 5 programs. The financial backing is a fraction of what schools like Alabama or Georgia receive. Recruiting battles often end before they begin when blue-chip prospects see the glossy locker rooms and stadiums of bigger schools. But Jackson is unfazed. His mission is clear: develop the man before the athlete, the person before the player. We're going to win in life first, Jackson said. The wins on the field will follow. And while many may scoff at such an approach in the high-stakes world of college sports, history shows that those who invest in people often end up changing the game in ways that transcend box scores. Following in Prime's footsteps, legacy over limelight. What Deion Sanders achieved at Jackson State was seen by many as a miracle. Within 2 years, he transformed a forgotten program into a cultural phenomenon, inspiring ESPN college game day visits, national television slots, and newfound respect for HBCUs. DeSean Jackson isn't promising miracles, but he is promising authenticity, commitment, and a relentless drive to make a difference. And just like Coach Prime, Jackson is betting on heart over hype. "This isn't about me," Jackson said. "This is about those kids who've been told they'll never amount to anything. This is about showing them they can." In an era where college football is increasingly driven by money, nil deals, and transfer portals, the stories of Jackson, Sanders, and Vick remind us of the soul of the sport, community, resilience, and the transformative power of mentorship. A new dawn for HBCUs? The rise of high-profile coaches like Sanders, Jackson, and Vick is ushering in a new era for HBCU football. More than ever, these programs are gaining national attention, and while the road ahead remains difficult, the momentum is undeniable. "We're building something bigger than football," Jackson said. "We're building hope." As the 2025 college football season unfolds, eyes will be on Delaware State, not because they're expected to dominate, but because they represent the purest form of sports: grit, community, and the belief that, against all odds, greatness can come from anywhere. And perhaps, when DeSean Jackson looks into the eyes of his players this season, he'll see less pain and more promise, less fear and more fire, because now they have a coach who doesn't just teach plays, he teaches life.